R2 the dog. I ain't even been feeling like doing this. But let's get it. Yeah. It's probably the real level up. BIP Red Dog 1.
The O is for the 16 ounces that's in a whole pound. They really out here feeling my music. Shout out the whole town. K is for the killers I know who keep the 4 pound. You give an inch, he taking a mile like it was 4th down. The L is for the ladies for sure. I mean the real ones who out here working hard for they.
What's up, world? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy R2, and we back with another banger, you know what I'm saying? So grab your popcorn and your cold drink and go on over there and hit that like button. Then hit that subscribe button. And after you do that, hit that bell. So when I drop these bangers, you be one of the first ones to put your eyes on it. You know what I'm talking about? Man, what's good? First and foremost, like always, I want to appreciate the supporters, man. I want to thank y'all. My bad, man. I was eating some gushers. I appreciate y'all. Y'all definitely fuel my motivation. You know what I'm saying? Keep me going. The constructive criticism, the good, the bad, the ugly. I appreciate it, man. I thank y'all for doing what y'all do. You dig what I'm saying? We're going to keep pushing this content out. And like I always say, man, when we talk about any kind of criminal case or anything like that, we're talking about allegedly, man. We running the content just how we get it. You understand what I'm saying? And then we just running the content and giving our, honest opinion and, keeping the people informed on what's going on. And today's topic is a big topic. We're talking about YNW Melly. Man, he been gone for a minute. You understand? For those of you who don't know who YNW Melly is, he's a Florida artist. He was accused of allegedly killing his friends, you know what I mean, sometime after they left the studio. And one of the big damning things in this case, man, is him being the last person that these dudes, was on record seeing, you know what I mean, before something happened to him. And him and another partner. It was four dudes all together. 2 dudes in the back, 2 in the front. And I guess, I think they end up leaving in separate cars. Like, they got in separate cars, and they followed each other. And I think some of them went back to the crib where they were staying at. The other dudes who got in the other car, they went back to the mansion or whatever, where they were staying. And these 4, they jumped in the whip together, you know what I mean? And only 2 of them made it back. But see, in YNW Melly's defense, he was saying that somebody shot at them while they was in traffic. So basically, his story was they got ambushed. But when you give a story like that, the trajectory of the bullet holes and all of that stuff, man, it plays a big factor. It got to add up, and I don't think. I mean, I remember the case, and I remember him talking about it, and I'm not sure if they proved that point or not, because obviously they didn't prove it well enough. It made it to mistrial, and that means that they couldn't decide if he was guilty or not guilty. So that means you got to do it again. So that means you got to sit longer and wait for them to retry you. And this man been locked up over 2,000 days. That's crazy. You know what I mean? 10 years is 3,650. I know that for sure. 10 years is 3,650. He been locked up for over 2,000 days. That's wild, man. You know what I'm saying? He been locked up since, I believe, 2018. Because I think this case happened in 2018. And from 2018 to 2025, that's like, if the case happened in 2018, they probably got jammed up in somewhere in 2019, just depending on what month, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to run this first clip just so you can get an idea of what they saying that he done. This is the last time that these 2 deceased gentlemen were seen alive. You know what I'm saying? Was with YNW Melly and another friend. You know what I mean? So let's run the clip, man, so y'all can check it out.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
And that clip is from, you see the timestamp at the top. That clip is from 2018. So that's the last time that these two young gentlemen were seen alive. And you see how many dudes it was, man. It was about 6 or 7 dudes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 8 dudes, a whole crew of dudes. You know what I'm saying? And they was at the studio doing, doing music things, kicking it, you know what I mean, partying, whatever, at the studio, what young people do at the studio. You got YNW Melly, he already blown up. He got hit songs, he getting the bag, and it's a lot of different stories, man, that you hear on the internet. And a couple of them that I heard, I'm not sure, and this is not concrete. I'm not saying, that I know what's going on with the situation. I'm just telling you, the things the narratives that I've seen. And one of the narratives was, he could have possibly been getting it because everybody was thinking like, why would he kill his own friends? First and foremost, you know what I mean? Why would he do that? And then, they saying that they got shot at, but if it didn't look like they got, because if you got shot at, it's gonna be glass in a certain spot. It's gonna be all these things are gonna, the story is gonna tell that you got shot at. It's not gonna. I don't think it's a way that you can, stage it, you know what I'm saying, and get away with it. You understand what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like I don't think that in today's time, with all the technology that we have, that you can, stage a drive-by shooting, you know what I mean, while you in traffic, getting shot by another person in another vehicle. I don't think you can stage that. And the evidence, once the examiners and once the people who, examine crime scenes and once those, people that went to school for crime scene detective and all of that stuff, once they get in there and they analyze this stuff, I don't think that it's gonna check out. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that was the case in this trial. But, they also had a witness, which is his girlfriend, and, they wanted her to testify against him. But, she didn't do it. She ended up, going on the run, and I think she had like a little peaceful surrender, through her lawyer. That way her words wouldn't get mixed up, that, it wouldn't be no misconstrue or misconfusion with what, she had to say to the police, because really she was she kept it as real as she could. She kept it as, basic as she could. If she knew anything about the case or about the, wrongdoing, the murders and anything like that, she never led on that she knew anything like that. And I think initially she may have said that she may have knew something, or maybe that's just something that the police was pressuring her to wanting to make her know something. Because let's be honest, man, these detectives, man, it's been proven in history that detectives do some real grimy shit when they trying to prove a case. I've seen too many documentaries, too many, cases where the detective on the case, he's doing all these things behind the scene to make it look like this person who they got for this case and who they got their eyes on, who they got it in their mind that's already guilty before before you go to trial and all of that. But they say that you innocent until proven guilty, but yet they treat us like we're guilty up until the point where, you get exonerated. And if you don't get exonerated, everybody knows what's happening after that. You go into the big house. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to show y'all another clip, man, just to show you how dope of a friend his girlfriend is to him, even though I don't know how long they were together. I don't know the dynamic of their relationship, but as far as a street dude go, you get in some trouble, you know, typically you're going to see a lot of stories with a girlfriend. She going to be probably one of the first ones to roll. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, men typically don't tell their girl everything. That's another gem for you youngsters out there. I'm not condoning violence in no kind of way, but if you in the streets any kind of way and that's just how you living, that's just how you got to get it. Listen, do your dirt by your lonely. If you ever do something, and you don't want nobody to know, don't tell nobody, not even your girlfriend, man. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna be the first person that's on your witness list. You understand what I'm saying? And she gonna get pressed by the cops if what you done is serious enough. Anybody that you love, anybody that you frequent, anybody that you be around is gonna get questioned. So you got to keep that in mind. You know what I mean? So if you doing things, you know, that you don't want nobody to know, don't tell nobody about it. Let's check this clip out.
In 2018. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023. A judge signed an order back in 2022 stating, quote, Mariah Hamilton is a material witness in the trial of Jamel Demons upon the charge of first-degree murder. Mariah Hamilton's testimony vitally bears on the case and cannot be obtained from any other available witness. Hamilton was a no-show at trial the following year. It ended in a mistrial. In late 2023, Broward Sheriff's detectives charged Demons and his alleged accomplice in the murders, Cortland Henry, with witness tampering when prosecutors said the two arranged to have a key witness not testify. Demons was in federal court this month claiming his constitutional rights are being violated while in custody at the Broward County Jail, released until his retrial in September. His mother had this to say to our cameras.
It was good seeing him today. Hopefully I'll be able to get a phone call or a visitation really soon.
Mariah Hamilton is expected to go before a judge in the coming days. If and when any criminal charges are filed against her, we will update this story.
swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Please state your full name.
No, Maurice. Jim.
How old are you?
25.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated, but I got my own GED.
Do you read and understand the English language?
Yes.
Are you presently under the influence of any drugs, medication, or alcohol?
No.
Have you ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
Are they giving you any medication in the jail right now?
No.
How are you feeling this morning?
Confused.
I understand. I'm a little confused myself. Your head is clear? You're not hearing voices. You
No.
hear your lawyers. You're talking to your lawyers. You understand what's going on this morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the defendant, and I guess Mr. Demons, I need to talk to you, ask you a few questions, all right? You heard what your attorney said. He said he's rested, no further witnesses. Do you hear that?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, I don't know what discussion you had with your attorneys. You got competent lawyers there. I mean, you've seen them perform here. You've discussed things with them, I assume, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that you have a right to testify, and you also have a right not to testify. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you do testify, I'm going to instruct the jury that they have to consider your testimony as they would any other witness. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And if you don't testify, I'm going to instruct the jury that you have a right not to testify, and they can't consider that, hold that against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So my question, I guess, is did you have enough time to talk about this issue about you testifying or not testifying? Did you have enough time to discuss that with your attorneys?
Yes, sir.
Did they answer all your questions?
Yes, sir.
And what is your decision?
I will not testify.
You will not be testifying.
No, sir.
Is anyone forcing you or coercing you to make this decision?
No, sir.
Anybody make any promises or on the contrary, make any threats to get you not to testify?
No, sir.
This is your free and voluntary decision.
Yes, sir.
So let me go further. You heard your attorney said he rests, he's not going to call any other witness. That includes you, but no other witnesses. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is there any other witnesses that you wanted your attorneys to call and present to the jury?
No, sir.
Any other evidence that you wanted your attorneys to present to this jury?
No, sir.
You good? You satisfied with their performance?
Yes, sir.
All right. And everything that you wanted the jury to hear and listen to is before the jury. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Let me ask, State, are you going to call any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
So the state's going to arrest as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
So as y'all can see in the video, Melly, he chose not to testify, and to me, that's smart. That's a smart move. You don't want to get up there on the stand, you know, and be cross-examined and having people asking you different kind of questions, trying to trip you up, trying to get your story together. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a good look on the stand. You know, the best thing is to just be silent, man. Silence is golden. That's what they say. And in this instance, I believe that silence is what's going to, separate, him from being convicted of double murder. Because they already got one hung jury. So they got two more times to come to a hung jury where it's a mistrial, because that means they can't decide if he's guilty or not guilty. They probably got 10 people saying not guilty, 2 people saying guilty, or vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I also want to point out the judge is, it seems like he got a good judge, because the judge is fully explaining everything, making sure that he understands, making sure that his lawyers have gave everything that they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Making sure that he's been given his just due. And I feel like in a high profile case like this, it's got to be like that. You know what I mean? Because, the jurors, the people who can sit on that panel and convict you or exonerate you, they're not supposed to look into your case. They're not supposed to go look on the internet. But when you're a famous rapper, you don't have a choice, because they can't sit and tell me that they don't know who this guy is, or they haven't heard his name before, or they haven't heard his song on the radio. So then they go and look at this stuff online, look at this stuff on the internet, and then that can gauge their decision. So I think it's a very smart move for him not to testify, because let's be honest, they saying that you allegedly killed your 2 friends. You know what I mean? So if you did kill your 2 friends, you don't want to get up there, and I'm not saying he did, but I'm saying if you did, you don't want to get up there and be cross-examined and be questioned when you already tried to, cover it up. Obviously, if y'all staged it to where it looks like somebody shot at y'all and that's what they thinking, you know what I mean? So it's all a big speculation. And like I said, man, I salute this dude for keeping it solid, staying down. His girl was a G as well. She was willing to get in trouble and be in contempt of court, not to show up to his court date and testify against him like they really wanted her to. Free YNW Melly. We're going to keep screaming free YNW Melly, man, because everybody need a little support. And like I said, when we run these content videos, man, we don't know if this dude is innocent or if he's guilty. We don't know. We're just speculating. And y'all don't know either. Because it'd be a lot of people out there in the comments and act like they know and be like, oh, I'm from that area. I know whoop-de-whoop. I went to school with dude. No, you didn't. Stop lying. You don't know that, man. We just speculating just like everybody else is. You understand what I'm saying? And we just putting it together the best way that we can with the information that we got. You feel me? And they don't have no concrete evidence on him. They don't have no smoking gun. They don't have his fingerprints on a weapon. They don't have nobody directly tying him to the situation. The only thing they got is the video of him, being in the car with 2 cars full of people, and they leave and get on the highway, and then they split up. One of the cars go back to the mansion, the other car go to a disclosed location, and the locations on the phones get turned off and all that, which is kind of suspicious if you ask me. You understand what I'm saying? But it could mean that they went to go have an after hours chill spot, or went to go mess with some hoes or something. You could never know. You never know what transpired that night. The only people that's still alive that know what transpired that night are YNW Melly and the dude that, his co-defendant. The person that was in the car with him. The other person that was in the vehicle with him. So we really don't know. We just speculating. But his trial has been pushed back to 2027. And I find that crazy, because he's already been locked up for almost 6 years. You know what I mean? Over 2,000 days. Come on, man, that's crazy. But they say that we innocent until proven guilty, when that's obviously not the case. Because if you get suspected of murder, they coming to get you. Believe that. Especially in Oklahoma, they coming to holler at you. and you're gonna sit 2-3 years, maybe 4, you know what I mean, until they figure out what's going on. And I feel like that's crazy. Even after the first mistrial, they should give this man a bond. He should be able to fight this from the crib. You know what I mean? But with it being a double murder, I understand, you know, the severity of the situation. They don't want him to possibly hurt somebody else, allegedly, if he allegedly did hurt somebody. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, we praying for you, young brother. Stay down. YNW Melly, man, you know, hopefully you get to, you know, get this up off of you. I don't wish jail. I don't wish prison on my worst enemy. I don't wish that on nobody, no human being, especially not a young black man. If you ain't being accused of no rape or no messing with no kids or nothing like that, you know, I'm rocking with you all the way. And YNW Melly, man, free you. And, you know, for the fans out there, for the people out there, for the audience, you know, we out of time. You know, next time we're going to get right back with y'all. I appreciate everybody for staying down, everybody for being consistent, everybody for rocking out with your boy. I told y'all, man, we on this 90-day run. I forgot what day we on. We like on day 11 or 12 on this 90-day run, and we getting it in, man. We pushing this content out every day, every day, every day. So anybody who supports this movement, I appreciate you, man. And thank y'all for stopping by. And we gone, man. Until next time, it's your boy. Peace, love, one.